We have been all-inclusive since day one, and we personally feel the all-inclusive vacation experience is the best value for money. But in our particular world, with speaking of Sandals resorts and beaches resorts, even we had to go back over the last 3 years and say, the customer is asking for more. What can you do? And we do partnership programs. We have a butler program with the British Guild of Professional English Butlers. We have Sesame Street characters on resort at beaches. We pour the best quality wines with Foster's Vineyards as our house wines. We use the best dive equipment. So we've even had to go back and find ways to give the customer more. But the notion of an all-inclusive experience, and all-inclusives kind of go all over the place. Some of them charge you for premium alcohol, some of them charge you for high-end restaurants. We have one price, all your taxes and gratuities are included. And I think that's why we did so well over the last couple of years, is our customer knows, they know what they're going to get. We're a bulletproof product. You come to Sandals, it's like buying an Audi. You know what you're going to get. It's hard to bundle all-inclusives together because there are some, like our organization, that are fantastic for local economies. They see to it that they buy locally, fruits and vegetables, that they're buying locally manufactured products and goods. And in our region, you can't always get the things that you need. We don't manufacture pumps and mechanical engines in our part of the world. They come from Germany and America and England. But what you can get, the key is to give as much market share as possible to the local markets. Now, there are some that don't. It's not on their mandate. It's not within their discipline that I speak of to care that much. And to those companies, I would, they deserve the heat and the pressure that they get, because they should give back. I think it's unfair to be in 2010 for people to say all-inclusives, because there are some companies that are just fantastic, and there are some companies that that could do a lot more. And so the idea of people not leaving the compound, I shouldn't say it on camera, but in an all-inclusive environment, if somebody leaves your compound, at the very least, it costs you less money operationally, because they eat off property, so you don't have to feed them. So the notion of wanting people to stay on property is ridiculous. And those days are so long gone. I said today, in Sandals, we send over 800 people a day out into our local communities doing excursions on craft markets. It's 30-odd% of our business daily leaving our premises. You got to remember, if it's 30% today, 30% tomorrow, by the end of the week, pretty much the entire hotel have left. Some people may not want to leave. If they don't want to leave, they're here for vacation. You can't force them to leave. Where our job is to take care of them and give them whatever they need as a service. But for me, it's very cool to be a young Caribbean national and watch how much this business is changing, and how much the younger generations and the older generations, through the the internet and all these mediums, are aware of how they can help. UNICEF and some of these organizations have been around for so long, and they do amazing works. The challenge is sometimes you support them and you never get to go into the community that they're helping, but they are helping, and they are. With my programs, you can take a drive 5 minutes down the road, and we'll show you the lives that we're making, better all around us. My dad is an amazing human being. He's 68 years old, and his mind, he has vision that is unbelievable. And he recognizes what he knows, and he recognizes what he doesn't know. And he was very easy to convince. We had been doing environmental programs for a long time, but in the late 90s, it was really his initiative that said, we need to do more. We need to have environmental officers in each of our hotels. We need to find a way to live within harmony. We've kind of taken it up a notch and made it a little more scientific and shown, how much we can do. And he's a fantastic chairman. He stands back and he says, look, this is your speciality. This is the environmental speciality. Tell me how I can help. And when you have we call it pushing on an open door. When you have a mentality like that, if you don't get it done, it's because you haven't organized yourself properly. There are tons of entrepreneurs, and it depends, unfortunately, how you were raised and what opportunities you got as a youngster in the community. The West Indies is an amazing place. You give somebody an opportunity and they run with it, and they go to town. And I think what Virgin is doing and what we continue to do and have done for years with these entrepreneur centers and these peace and justice centers is just that. It's taking kids that that yesterday had very little hope, had nobody trying to help them. They become idle. They end up doing silly things because they have no other way out. And the solution is not, it's back to education. The solution is not to give them a fish, as the old saying goes, it's to teach them how to fish. It's to find parts of the economy, whether it's through farming, manufacturing, that there's demand, and help them get them on their feet. And that's what Virgin is doing, and we're a part of that program with them. And it's, that is a solution. There are over 50 people that work in our foundation. I'm the president of the foundation, and then there is a executive director that is literally like the director of executions. In each community that we operate, we have a sub-advisory board. That board is made up of professionals and people from within that community. So, who am I to go into a community to tell them what their problems are? They come to us and say, look, these are the things, and we go in there and legitimize it. We don't have a blanket program that we spread across that we say, this is how we spend our money. It depends on finding the right people that are going to put the resources in effectively, that have the ability to, we are fully auditable, a transparent foundation, a 501c3 registered foundation, and we have to ensure that every dollar that is spent, it's not my money. It may be your money. It needs to go to the purpose that the donor requested, and that is a heavy responsibility, and it does. So some of the programs are more advanced than others. In Jamaica, they're very advanced. In St. Lucia, they're very advanced. In Turks and Caicos, it's a more recent island that we've been in. It's getting going, and we do great things there. In the Bahamas, we've done programs for years, but we decided to, they were saying, change gears and really step it up a notch. The Turks and Caicos Islands and the Bahamas are wealthier islands than maybe St. Lucia or Jamaica. So there's a lot of balls in the air that you need to juggle and figure out what are the best needs. But this is a living being unto itself, irregardless of Sandals Resorts. Sandals pays all the governance, all of the wages, the airline tickets, the marketing fees, all the programs that we do. Sandals covers 100% of that, in addition to donating to the foundation. So if you donate $5 gets to the community. Not $4.98 or $4 or $3.80. 100% of the proceeds get to the community.
Sandals takes the...
And Sandals pays for whatever the overheads are around getting it there. So that's hosting websites, building websites. I mean, there's a cost for me being here in London. So it is pretty awesome, because we just woke up one day and said, enough is enough. Change is 5 feet down the road if you want to make it happen. I've spent the first 2.5 days focused on the business, on Sandals, and of course you have people coming in and we're talking about good works in the Caribbean. But absolutely, it's been a very good show. It's quite a bit more traffic than I expected it to be, considering the times we're coming out of. A lot of people made it over this year, and people are optimistic. I don't think the world is gonna bounce back overnight, but we are seeing steady growth, and it coming back. I mean, Sandals, as I said, Sandals has had 2 particularly good years. Next year is our 30th anniversary. We're having a party every week for 52 weeks. We're going to celebrate our birthday every week. We're going to do all kind of amazing programs for our past guests and first-time guests. It'll be a good year to come to Sandals. And we're building for the first time, and I mean, to this whole environmental point, we're building this year in St. Lucia 30 over-the-water suites, bungalows, which has never been done in the Caribbean. Never ever been done. It took us almost 4 years to work with the local governments and show how you can do this in harmony with the environment. So we did all of our studies, environmental impact assessment studies, and the relocation of the seagrass that needs to be done, and all of the things that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if we had all known better to do it then, we wouldn't be as far off the beaten track today. But I am very proud to be here, to be able to tell everyone what it is that our company continues to do and have for the last 15 years. You will always get a bit more indirect distribution these days because of the internet. Having your internet. Sandals was built by travel agents and powered by travel agents, and it's still our biggest booking portal. It's through travel agents, and we continue to invest. This fall alone, we brought over 4,500 travel agents to our islands to show them our hotel. We want you to see it. Seeing is believing. And educating them instead of looking in a brochure. Here's the Italian restaurant, here's the Japanese restaurant, the French, the Caribbean, here's our scuba diving operation, our weddings programs. So yeah, absolutely. We travel agents they've always been there, and I always tell my dad, as long as I'm around, they'll always be there.